स्वाहा।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः।
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्
ॐ स्वः भुवः भूः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ।
श्री शिव प्रार्थना। शिव हर शंकर नमामि त्वां शिव शिव शंकर शंभो। हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो।
शिव हर शंकर नमामि त्वां शिव शिव शंकर शंभो। हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो।
शिव मंत्र। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
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 ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम शांति शांति शांति।
श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण।
Good morning. Jai Shri Krishna. It's 10 o'clock. If I'll be late today, I don't want to hear from Parvati Mami. She was very punctual on time. So I don't want to miss that. Om Bhurbhuvaha Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. This morning, I'd like Deepak, Dilip, Devan, Safina, and Preeti, and Dina to stand on the side. Again, this morning I'm standing in front of you as a representative of the Nattu Mama, Dilip, Deepak, Dina, Preeti, Devan, Safina, to celebrate the life of a person, a larger than many of us knew her as a Parvatiben Natubhai Patel, whom I call Parvati Mami. She was born in Dungarwadi, Divet district, Valsad, India on January 6, 1946. Her father was Bhikhabhai Bhanabai Patel, and mother was Manikben, or some called her Maniben Bhikhabhai Patel. She was part of the large farming family. They were 7 siblings, 4 brothers and 3 sisters. Parvati Mami was the middle of the 3 sisters. She helped her father in farming, spent time with her mom in the kitchen, and learned to cook delicious, tasty, spicy food. Despite of all that, she managed to finish her high school from the Debate High School in Valsad. Then her life turned on that great day when she met a handsome young man full of energy, our beloved Natubhai, in 1962. She had time to know him for 4 years and finally gave in to marry him on May 6, 1966. After marriage, her husband went to London, UK to venture the life's opportunities. She migrated a year later in 1967 to join him and lived in London. There in London, she gave birth to 2 princes, Dilip and Deepak. Later, she also traveled to India and gave birth to her precious princess, Dina. Moving on in life to search for the best for her family, they moved to Philadelphia, USA, and lived in Phoenixville, a suburb of Philadelphia. No wonder she was a huge fan of Philadelphia Eagle. Behind every successful man, a special woman stands. That was true in her case. They moved to Fort Lawn, South Carolina in 1979 and started their first business venture. In 1982, she encouraged her husband to build a brand new Econo Lodge, first franchise hotel by Indian community in South Carolina. And onwards, she was there for each and every groundbreaking. Her business and acute management skills were instrumental in the business expansion and the growth that they achieved throughout. Later, she wanted to have a dream house, and they built the Parvati Palace. If you walk into their house as of today, you will see in the entrance door, the glass is etched PP. That is for Parvati Palace, just to see, letting the secret out, okay? So when somebody comes in the house, they know what it is. In 1988, they built that Parvati Palace. She lived and took her last breath in her palace on September 14th, 2022. Although she had issues for last 8 years with the health, she was a fierce fighter and caring person. Just to show how caring and selfless she was, with Natubhai's permission, let me share one private moment of their lives. On each birthday of her husband, Natubhai, she would wake up and early in the morning, cook a variety of foods for the breakfast. And at the breakfast table, she would say, "Happy birthday, Natu." This morning, about 7 years ago, something was different. She woke up in the morning. It was Natubhai's birthday. She turned to him, looked into his eyes, and told him 3 things. Happy birthday. Wish every woman gets someone special like you as a husband, and wish you to live till you are 100 years. Only someone like her can say that. Caring and selfless things, especially when her own health was in decline. With her husband's support, and managed to travel to Europe and India. Also, they attended all the family functions despite of her wheelchair bound. She was huge football fan. Eagle and Gamecocks were her team. She was a great cook, always enjoyed cooking tasty treats and hosting people to her place. It gave her a great enjoyment to invite and host cookouts for family, friends, even a volleyball team. And she never expected anything in return. No wonder her house was always had so many guests. No one can replace her cooking, no one can replace her caring personality, and no one can replace her strong sentiments for family. And I will not do justice to Parvati Mami if I do not acknowledge one thing, Her sentiment, strong sentiment for family was not limited to her immediate family members. Many of us sitting in this hall who are in attendance, and some of them are not in attendance, especially first few rows on both sides. Some of the rows goes extended. So I would safe to say there's about 80% to 85% of people, including myself, in this hall, are enjoying our future in the United States because of her. So let me repeat it again. No one can replace her, period. She is resting in peace. Let's pray. Jai Shri Krishna. At this time,
I would like to thank everyone for coming here and showing respect for my ba. To start off, I would just like to say a few things about her. It was really hard on me and all of you guys to see her pass. She knows that we all love her really much and we all miss her. She was such a great lady that we all looked up to. I remember that I used to pretend that I was a teacher and I used to teach her how to kick or throw a volleyball. She aced kicking a volleyball all the time. One of the best times I remember is when I would get in trouble and I would make her chase me, while Devin runs the other way and grabs ice cream for us to eat. I miss her so much, just like every one of you, and I want to thank everyone again for coming here and showing respect. Thank you.
Devin.
Jai Shri Krishna. I would like to start off by thanking everyone for coming to show your respects for my Ba. I'm Ba's first grandchild, well actually her only grandson. Yes, I was the spoiled one from her, spoiled with her love, affection, and her kindness. Many memories to share with you, but I'll start off and share some funny stories how I would drive my Ba crazy. And yes, I did drive her crazy. My sister and I would take turns having Ba chase us around the house. If I didn't want to eat what she made, it was simple. I would get the ice cream bars out the freezer and run upstairs and eat them. Well, you bet she would be screaming out my name, come eat, and chase me until I sat down to eat dar bakshat. Another one of my favorite memories of Ba was when I used to ride up and down the driveway with my big wheel bicycle, having the best time but driving so recklessly. But she used to chase me down with a velon and scream my name. All I would do is turn around, pedal as fast as I could and yell back, "You can't catch me," and laugh as hard as I can. If I didn't enjoy what she made for dinner for the family, you bet she'd prepare a special meal just for me, because secretly I knew she'd do anything for me. My Ba was truly one of a kind. Showing her kindness was coming to watch me play in my tournaments, even in her wheelchair. It would be a cold morning and she would sit there, watch and cheer me on. My Ba was very into sports. I mean, come on, do you know any Ba that knows so much about football? She even had an incredible memory. She'd be able to tell you what the final score was from any football game played in 2015. My Ba, I will always love you and look up in the sky for that one star that will twinkle. I know in my heart that it would be you smiling down on me. Thank you for loving me unconditionally. Love you always from the grandson you spoiled. Thank you.
Dilip.
Thank you. And we'll get through this. First of all, I want to welcome family, friends, and people who are watching around the world. We're here to celebrate my mom, a sister, a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. First, I want to thank my brother and sister for everything they did with Mom. It meant a lot, especially the last 3 years. So, we lost 2 queens this week. One's in London, It's one in front of us. I can't help but see the similar traits between them. Take away the crown from the queen, and you'll see how much they are alike. Both were brought into the spotlight at a young age. Both were scared from the beginning. The queen to run a country, and my mom moving from India to London. Both women are the solid rocks of the family. Even though the men thought they were in charge of the household, they knew the women were in charge. Both women dealt with family issues, but the bond for the family was put first no matter what. Both women took care of their family members, the queen with her sisters and brothers, and my mom with her sisters and brothers, especially when they came to America with open arms. Both lived long lives. Both were married over 55 years. That's amazing. Both women were admired by many people, as you can see here, and people around the world. The common bond between the women is the love for their family. And family is a big word, but when you look at it, everyone's here as family. Whether you were touched in the moment or somewhere, have you met my mom? She always welcomed you as family. There's not a person who would not be touched by my mom and doing what she did. I live by two mottos in life: carpe diem, and the littlest moments are the biggest memories. Carpe diem is a Latin term, means seize the day, which also means that we should enjoy life while we can. And my mom did that every day. My mom used carpe diem as I look at it throughout her life. When my parents seized a day to leave India to London, and then from London to America, they took a chance to seize a better way of life for our family. My dad seized a day when he met my mom at a bus stop, from one of the stories I've heard. And then both seized the day when the family members who came to America, they seized their opportunity to have a life here in America. If you notice, all the family members that my mom and dad have helped bring here and give them the American dream that my mom and dad gave to everybody. Now, the second motto is the littlest moments are the biggest memories. Every moment, whether it's good or bad, becomes a big memory. If you think about it, in your life, everything that you've done may be a little moment, but it will be a big memory down the road. My nephew, my niece, when they were born, my brother who got married, all the birthdays, anniversaries, things that we did in our life that we would never forget, but they were big memories. And my mom, all the little moments we shared will always be a big memory for me. My mom was the rock of the family. As we say goodbye to you, you'll always be with us. You did an amazing job of loving, raising me, Deepak and Dina. And Dad, because he was a little kid at times too. all the sacrifices that my mom and dad did just so my brother and sister and me could have a better life. I cannot thank you enough. I got to experience the hard work my parents did to run a small motel. When we lived in Fort Lawn, my parents ran a 22-room motel. Being a small child, we just played like kids, and apparently we did housekeeping, even at night. It was not later on that I found out what child labor laws were. If I had known, I'd be a rich person right now. Later on, I realized what it meant to run a small hotel. I had an opportunity to go to Albany, Georgia, when my mom's sister went to India, and I had to run the motel down in Albany for about 4 months. Well, understanding it was just me, and I was running that motel 24/7. I didn't get a chance to really go out, night shift, day shift. We were doing it all. So I respect all the parents, and especially mom and dad, for what they had to do to run a hotel that gave us a better opportunity in life. 2 things I remember about mom that things I will remember, but they stick out the most. Apparently Kitson took the thunder already. But before there was internet or social media, we had word of mouth. My mom and dad were known for their cooking skills. People from all over who got to experience their cooking would tell me how great my parents' cooking was. Apparently they were famous all over. Their cooking skills were notorious famous for shrimp, chicken, and especially goat. If you never had a chance to have it, hopefully you will. The second thing you didn't know about my mom, she loved sports. From the time we lived in Philadelphia to South Carolina, she loved watching all sports, football, basketball, hockey, and baseball. Like yesterday, the University of South Carolina played Georgia. Fortunately, South Carolina lost, but she would always call and say, "Hey, what time are the Gamecocks playing?" And that meant a lot now to think about it. She just loved the sports and watching it with my dad. But kids spend time with family. If they like sports and stuff, just enjoy it with them. Take 30 minutes to watch TV with them, whatever they decide to do. Now, apparently as kids, we were getting in trouble. And apparently it started the first day I got to America. And the story I heard goes like this. When we landed in America in Philadelphia, apparently I went missing for about an hour. My parents' friends went looking for me. They eventually found me, but I was in the jetway with the door closed, and I was just staying there. So that started off my career of being in trouble here and there. I apologize to my mom and dad for putting them through a lot of stuff. You know how moms are the solid rock of the family, and they love their kids. Well, I just appreciate Mom always calling me and telling me I'm in trouble, because my dad would be yelling about something, and she would warn me that Dad was mad about something, so I knew to stay away. But then, she was my early warning system, and I appreciate that. I remember the family vacations we like to take. Dorney Park in Pennsylvania, Six Flags, Disney World, Niagara Falls. But there were so many other little trips that we take that I will never forget. And thank you for the opportunity for us to go. When my mom's health started to showing shows of issues, my dad made sure they were able to travel around the world. I know one trip they always talked about was called to Australia and New Zealand. They got to go. Even though she was in a wheelchair, they went and had a great time. I'm so glad my mom was able to go to India one last time to see family and friends, because it meant a lot to her to see people there. Thank you, Dad, for doing that. Next, I want to thank some people. I want to thank all the people who helped my mom throughout her journey. When we lived in London, I can't imagine how my mom taking care of 3 kids. When my dad left for America, it had to be a struggle. And back then in London, Indians were old small community is not what you see today. It was hard work. It was tough. But they went through it, and I can't just imagine how my mom did it. I just want to personally thank all the people in India, or excuse me, in London, in India, that helped my mom. Especially want to thank Geeta's mom and dad that were in London helping them. But there were many people that I may not know about. I want to thank for everything that they did for my mom and my dad. I especially want to thank Dia from India because my parents were supposed to come a week before COVID hit. And they got locked down in India and no flights were going. It was Dia that helped make sure that my parents got whatever they needed, even during the lockdown. That was called family connections. I especially wanted to thank Auntie and Uncle who helped my mom for the last couple of years. It meant a lot to give us peace that she was being taken care of. They did a great job. And thank you for everything. Finally, please everyone, let's celebrate my mom's life, not her death. She's getting ready to do another second journey. And she's going to be looking down and laughing with us and watching us grow. Mom, I can't thank you enough for being a great mom. We will always love you. Rest in peace. Thank you.
Dina, if you could, please.
All right, so Dilip, Devin, and Priti have covered a lot of Mom's life and a lot of things that she did. I'm just going to say that we all know how much Mom meant to all of us, and we know everything that she's done. From all the good times and all the bad times, she was still there with everybody no matter what. And no matter how angry or happy she was with us, she was still with us all the time. We all have our ups and downs,
but we all loved each other no matter what. At the end of the day, your mother's love is something that you just can't go without. I'm thankful of the day that Mom met Dad and Dad met Mom, and their journey started and ended here in America. Started in India and ended here in America. Each and every one of you, she has always said good things about. She's always run around from the hotel back to the house, get everything ready, cook everything, clean everything, just for whoever's coming. Even if Dad's like 30 minutes, they're going to be here. Mom would still run and get everything done and have everything prepared and ready for everybody that came. So I'm just wrote a little poem to kind of extend out the way we feel about her. And I hope everybody would just keep her memories with you. And I hope you all can share a memory with us of her and you at some point somewhere. So bear with me here. A mother's love is never gone even after she passes and moves on. She has always been there from the start. Her memories will be treasured deep in our hearts. Her family legacy will continue on. Her love has no boundaries, no sides. You'll always feel that beautiful, precious warmth inside. Even when her grandson comes around and farts, she'll always show you a brighter smile. She gives you your heart, and she will give you your heart. She will give you her soul, and she will show you how to love and grow. We've laughed and we've cried. Together we survived, but the feeling of loneliness is now inside. Where do we run? Where do we hide? Life has dropped a burden on us. Parkinson's is the name they gave it. It spreads through you slower than you can name it. Please, but one, help us understand, for all of our feelings are torn inside. Seeing you leave makes us go blind and empty inside. No one to hold throughout the day, or even to hug or kiss goodnight. Your granddaughter's smile, that is so true, and her beautiful face she got from you. This is all we need to help us through the journey as we continue without you. So I hope Mom has a wonderful journey, just as good as she had on this first journey. And I hope everybody can continue to give prayers to us and help us through the next few months to the rest of our lives. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for being here with us throughout the past few years.
Good job. This time, Deepak. I just opened it for you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to get through this. All right, first I want to thank everyone for coming today. Before I start, I do want to thank the Samaj of Rock Hill for helping with the funeral arrangement. They came together, for the family when all this occurred. I want to thank my brother and sister for helping as much as they could during the last 3 years. I wanted to thank Natubhai and Governbai for helping with my mom's care for this last 3 years. Giving a speech is hard. It's hard. It's almost as hard as getting out of the house on a Thursday night with my friends. But most of you are wondering why I smile. I get it from my mom. This is going to help me get through the speech today. I always laugh at funny things, and I always see humorous stuff. It's funny. I've never seen my kids ever stand in one spot for such a long time. Every time I try to give them a lecture, they run away. Since we are here, I don't know why, but my daughter always asks me 2 or 3 times during the week, she always asks me, of all people, have you seen my hairbrush? And I'm always thinking, I'm like, why would you ask me of all people? Is there something about me that you know? And And then Devin, I look at Devin sometimes, and I'm jealous of your hair, just letting you know. But don't worry, I ordered something on Amazon next week. I think we'll be matching. So my mom wasn't the loudest one in the group. She didn't make a fashion statement. She was simple, and simple is how she grew up. She was a person you could talk to with no harm or intention. She would also be someone you would feel safe and nearby. She's somebody you can gravitate to. What made my mom different is how she would like to smile and care for people. When living in Pennsylvania, we lived in a house in which my siblings and myself were all eating dinner. My dad was at work. And we started throwing rice at each other. And we just threw a lot all over the place at each other. And then my mom had come in and she yelled at us. She saw how scared we were when she yelled at us. She picked up the rice and she threw it at us. Then she threw it back, and we had so much fun. She made us smile, and that's what happened. We cleaned up the house before my dad got home. It's just the simple things that she did to make us smile. Most of us business owners were probably smiled like that when we got our PPP forgiveness letter. I remember in India, my mom also cared about me, though sometimes I think was different. She cared about me that she called my dad, said something about my hair. I think it was more about shock than my hair. And she made me pray twice a day while we were there in India, all during that time. My siblings helped my mother a lot. My dad, on the other hand, went beyond means to help my mom. Even though the years went hard, it got harder with my mom, and her motor skills slowed down. My dad had made huge adjustments, learning curves, and became a full-time caretaker. My mom rubbed off on my dad too. He wanted to make her smile. He realized that with my mom's situation, he did not want to stay in the house. He would ask her where she wanted to go. I remember sometimes he would point to the globe. He would take her to weddings in other states, leave a day early, make sure she was matching, had everything ready, get ready, then go by her side for the whole wedding. He would push her around a lot and not ask anyone for help. He did take her around and then pushed her in the wheelchair, and she had limited mobility. He wanted to show her the world and places she had never been. He wanted to take his sweetheart with him. Another story about my mom is when she was in a wheelchair and very limited with movement, I would push her up our driveway. And for the ones that have been to our house, it's a long driveway. We went one afternoon, it was very cloudy. It wasn't that hot. Up in the driveway to the street, I asked her which way she wanted to go, and she would just point. And so I would go that way. We walked about 90 minutes. Typically, that day we would walk around up and down the street. We'd pass our house multiple times. And she kept pointing up and down the street to push her. After a while of pushing her up and down the street, I thought there was something wrong with my mom's arm. We got in front of the driveway, and we walked around. I walked around and then sat down in front of her. I was sweating. My shirt was drenched. It was in the 90s. And I asked Mom, where's the house? Knowing the house is on her right-hand side. She pointed straight down the street. I got worried with her arm is gone and she can't understand me. Then a big smile came across her face, and she pointed to the right and moved her body to the house. She started laughing, and I looked at my mom. I said, Mom, you got me. She was smiling and laughing, and I was too. Then I looked at her again, and she saw me sweating, and it's from the heat. And I said, Mom, are you ready to go inside? And she pointed down the street again. So I had to go down the street, up and down for another 30 minutes until she was ready to go in. My mom, a lot of you met her through your time. She was great, and it's time to celebrate her life, and with a smile. How ironic for my mom, she passed in a town called Rock and Hill. My mom had many challenges in her life, represented by the hills that she had to climb over, especially in the last 7 years. She would climb that hill thinking the challenge was done, to find another that she had to climb. No matter what happened, she had to be as solid as a rock to take on these challenges. her determination to keep fighting. If she was not, we'd have lost her 3 years ago. Going forward, every time you think of Raquel, I want you to think of my mom. She did love football. It was all day Sunday. I guess the last smile she'll give a lot of you today is you'll be in front of a TV by 1 p.m. to watch kickoff. If I was able to put a little bit of laughter and a smile on your face, I did what my mom did. It's her work. It's her smile. And I'm smiling today because of my mom. Mom, you'll be okay. You'll be with your family, and you'll be at peace again in the future, and we'll see her smile again. Good job. Thank you.
Deepak, Dilip, you guys want to?
Jesse Krishna, thank you for everyone attending this ceremony today. My mother-in-law wasn't just my mother-in-law. She was really my mom. A mom who opened her home, Parvati Palace, to a complete stranger. Truly, if you think about it, I was a stranger to her. I moved from Canada. I knew Deepak for a couple of months, I should say, and then I moved in. We began a beautiful daughter-in-law and a mother-in-law relationship. But later, I realized that I wasn't her daughter-in-law. She really did treat me like her daughter for 19 years. We made it work for 3 years living with her. Although she didn't know what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy, but she made every effort to make sure that she prepared every one of my favorite meals. She would prepare a cup of cha for me in the morning while I went to Microtel, and Dad and I would eat half of our boiled grapefruit with sugar every morning. We knew we couldn't have two queens in a kitchen, but we did it. The impossible became possible. And I think it was because she was just so simple in life. She never had any expectations, lived life as joyfully as she possibly can. She appreciated the smallest tokens in life. A simple drawing from the kids put a smile on her face, and she cherished that forever. The only time her and I would ever have a little bit of discussion or a little bit of tension between her was when football began. Why? Because when football began, so did hockey. And we both wanted to sit downstairs and watch on the big TV. So we compromised. She would watch one quarter, and I would watch one period. But if the Flyers were playing and the Canadians were playing, that was a big ordeal in our home. She would sit on one side of the couch, I on the other, but we still managed to laugh and smile. Often, Deepak and I would drop the kids off in Rock Hill so that Deepak and I can go out to Charlotte and enjoy the weekend. But in the morning, I would call her and ask her, Mom, how did the kids do? And her famous sentence to me was, "Oh, Preeti, tara poira to mane bahut heran kare." And I would laugh and tell her, those are your two grandkids. If you have to take out the Velern, go right ahead. I have no problem with it. Time has passed and the kids got older. But like Deepak, Dilip, Dina, Devan, and Safina said, she always had that permanent smile on her face. Because if you look around at her pictures, she's always smiling. Mom, I can't thank you enough for being the mother-in-law you are. A kind, genuine woman, hardworking, with a beautiful soul. And I can only pray that my daughter, Safina, has a mother-in-law like you, because I got so lucky. I told the kids that when we miss Ba and need some guidance, to look up in that sky. That one star that will be twinkling down on us is going to be her smiling at us every day. If Bao could be here and if Mom could be here, she'd say, everyone, just enjoy your life every moment that you have, because she really did. I love you, Mom.
ભરતભાઈ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય સ્વામિનારાયણ, જય દાદા ભગવાન. પાર્વતી દીદીનો આત્મા ભગવાનના ધામમાં ગયો છે. એમના આત્માને શાંતિ મળે અને પરિવારને દુઃખ સહન કરવાની શક્તિ આપે એ માટે આપણે સમૂહમાં પ્રાર્થના કરીશું. દરેકને આ બુક આપવામાં આવી છે, પેજ નંબર 11. श्री रामचंद्र कृपाल भजमन हरण भव भय दारुणम नव कंचलोचन कंच मुख कर कंज पद कंजारणम कांदल्पय गणित अमित छबिनव नीरज सुंदरम पदपीत मानव तड़ित ऋषि शुचि नौमि जन कसुतावरम भज दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दस्तनी ननिकंदनम रघुनंदयानंद कंद कौसल्य चंद्र दशरथ नंदनम शिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु उदारयं गविभूषणम आजान भुज सर चापदर संग्राम जित कर दूषणम इति वदति तुलसी दास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम मम हृदय कुंज निवास गुरु कमादि खलदल भंजनम. ભાઈ માફ કરજો, દીદીની ફરિયાદ છે કે કંઈ સંભળાતું નથી. જરા જોરથી ગાઓ. તમે ફેસ ટાઈમ પર વાત કરો તો કેવી જોરમાં વાત કરો. પેજ નંબર 17. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी बरनऊ रघुवर बिमल जस जो दायक फल चारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार. जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस दई लोक उजागर राम दूत अतुलित बलधाम अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन बिराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित गैसा हाथ व्रज और जा बिराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप मा जगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को यातुर प्रभु चरित सुन के बोरसिया राम लखन सीता मन वसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिंह दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र हमारे लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हरसिंह लाए रघुपति कीन्हे बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिया भरत सम भाई सहस्र वदन तुम रोज सगावे अस गए श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मांड मुनीसा नारद सार सहित अहिंसा यब कुबेर दिगपाल जाते कवि कोविद कही सके तुम उपकार सुग्रीव कीना राम मिलाए राजपत दीना तुम्हारो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर बानु तिल्योताई मधुर फल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माई जल दिरादि गए अचरज नाई दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे नेने राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न यातना बिन पैसारे सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना अपना तेज समारो यहाँ पे तीन लोक आंख से कापे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट से हनुमान छोड़ावे मन कर्म वचन ध्यान जुलावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काल सगल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अस सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुमरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुमरे भजन राम को भावे जन्म जन्म के दुख विसरावे अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाय जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय और देवता चीतन धरिए हनुमंत से सर्व सुख करिए संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो समिरे हनुमंत बलवीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई ये सत बार पात कर कोई छूटे बंदी महा सुख होय जोय पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा कीजे नाथ हृदय मम डेरा पवन तनय संगत हरिनाम मंगल मूर्ति रोम राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसौ सर्वभूपसिया वर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। Page number 13. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज मन प्यारे सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान मान
मस्जिद तेरे दाम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा पतित पावन सीताराम रात्रे निंदा दिवसे काम क्यारे भजसु श्री भगवान रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम तन मेरा मन मेरा अणु अणु मेरा मई राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम जल मेरा स्थल मेरा सारे जग में तू ही राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भजमन प्यारे सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम बोलिया बोलिया श्री भगवान अर्जुन सांभळो रे तमने कहूँ छूं गीता ज्ञान अर्जुन सांभळो रे आत्मा मरतो नती अमरसे એવું સમજે તે જ્ઞાની છે તે સાંખ્ય યોગી કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે સતકર્મ ધર્મ કહેવાય આચરતા ચિત્ત શુદ્ધિ થાય તે કર્મયોગી કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે સતકર્મ સદાચરીએ ફળ હરિને અર્પણ કરીએ તે બ્રહ્માપણ કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે જેમ કમળ પાત્ર પાણીમાં તેમ રહે છે જે દુનિયામાં તે સંન્યાસી કહેવાય સાંભળો રે પોતે પોતાના ગુરુ બનીએ નારાયણનું ધ્યાન ધરીએ તે સંયમી કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે વાસુદેવ સર્વવ્યાપક છે હજારોમાં કોક જાણે છે તે વિજ્ઞાની કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે આખા વિશ્વ તણોક્ષય થાય મારું ધામ અક્ષય કહેવાય અક્ષર બ્રહ્મ તે કહેવાય અર્જુન હો રે સરજો પાડો ને સંહારું અમે ભાવે ભજન કરે મારું તે રાજયોગ કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે અંતરની આંખો ખોલો તમે સગડે હવે તમે જોઈ લો તે વિશ્વરૂપ કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે અનન્ય ચિંતન મારું કરશે તે મૃત્યુ સાગર તરસે એવો ભક્તિ યોગ સમજાવે અર્જુન સાંભળો રે દેહ પ્રકૃતિનો કહેવાય જીવ મારો અંશ કહેવાય ક્ષેત્ર ક્ષેત્રજ્ઞ અર્જુન સાંભળો રે જ્યારે ભેદભાવના જાગે ત્યારે સમાનતા આવે ત્યારે ત્રિગુણાતીત કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે જગવૃક્ષ તણું જે મૂળ છે જળ ચેતનથી ઉત્તમ છે તે પુરુષોત્તમ કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે સદબુદ્ધિ દેવ કહેવાય કો બુદ્ધિ અસુર કહેવાય તે દેવાસુર કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે જેવું અન્ન તેવું મન તેવી શ્રદ્ધા જેવું મન તે શ્રદ્ધામય કહેવાય અર્જુન સાંભળો રે સગળા ધર્મ છોડી દો ને મારે શરણે રે આવો ને મુક્ત સંન્યાસી થઈને અર્જુન રે ગીતામૃત પાન જે કરશે મૃત્યુ સાગર ને તરશે શિવરામ તાસે જય જયકાર અર્જુન સાંભળો રે બોલ્યા બોલ્યા શિવ વાન અર્જુન बहु पुण्य केरा पूंजती सुख दे मानवनो मळ्यो तो अरे भव चक्रनो आटो नहीं एके तर्यो सुख प्राप्त करता सुख तड़े चे लेस ये लक्षे लहो क्षण क्षण भयंकर भाव मरणे खाओ राजी रहो लक्ष्मी अने अधिकार वधता શું વધ્યું તે તો કહો શું કુટુંબ કે પરિવારથી વધવા પણ એ નવગ્રહો વધવા પણ સંસારનું નરદેહને હારી જવો એનો વિચાર નહીં એક પણ તમને અહો નિર્દોષ સુખ નિર્દોષ આનંદ લ્યો તમે ત્યાંથી ભલે એ દિવ્ય શક્તિમાન જેદી જંજીરેથી નીકળે પર વસ્તુમાં નહીં મૂંઝવો એની દયા મુજને રહી ત્યાં ત્યાગવા સિદ્ધાંત પ્રસાદ દુઃખ ને સુખ નહીં હું કોણ છું ક્યાંથી થયો શું સ્વરૂપ છે મારું કરું કોણા સંબંધે વિવેકપૂર્વક શાંત વિચાર વિવેક પૂર્વક શાંત ભાવે જો કયા તો સર્વયાત્મિક જ્ઞાનના સિદ્ધાંત તત્વ અનુભવ્યા તે પ્રાપ્ત કરવા વચન કોનું સત્ય કેવળ માનવું નિર્દોષ નરનું કથન માનો તે હજે ને અનુભવ્યું રે આત્મતારો સ્વિદયે ને ઓળખો સર્વાત્મમાં સમદ્રષ્ટિનો આ વચનને હૃદયે લખો રે આત્મતારો સિદ્ધયે ને ઓળખો સર્વાત્મમાં સમદ્રષ્ટિનો આ વચનને હૃદયે રહો. Page number 27. શંભુ શરણે પડી માગું ઘડીએ ઘડી આપો દયા કરી દર્શન શિવ આપો અંગે ભસ્મ સ્મશાનની ચોડી સંગે રાખો સદા ભાલે તિલક કર્યું કંઠે વિષ ધર્યું અમૃત આપો દયા કરી દર્શન શિવ આપો આપો દ્રષ્ટિમાં તેજ અનોખું સારી સૃષ્ટિને શિવારૂપ દેખું તારો માન મદા ગાળો સર્વ સમજણ આપો દયા કરી દર્શન શિવ આપો હું તો એકલ પંથ પ્રવાસી છતાંય આત્મા છે કેમ ઉદાસી તાક્યો મતી રે મતી રણ મળતું નથી શક્તિ આપો દયા કરી દર્શન શિવ આપો ભોળા શંભુ બાવા દુઃખ કાપો નિત્ય સેવાનું સુખ દન આપો તારો માન મદા ગાળો ગર્વ સદા ભક્તિ આપો દયા કરી દર્શન શિવ આપો. પેજ નંબર 29. ભક્તિ કરતા છૂટે મારા પ્રાણ પ્રભુજી એવું માગું રે રહે જન્મ જન્મ તારો સાથ પ્રભુજી એવું માગું રે તારો મુખડો મનોહર જોયા કરું રાત દાડો ભજન તારો બોલ્યા કરું શ્વાસે શ્વાસે રટું તારું નામ પ્રભુજી એવું માગું રે મારી આશા તિરાશા કરશો નહીં મારા અવગુણ હૈયામાં ધરશો નહીં રહે અંત સમય તારું ધ્યાન પ્રભુજી એવું રે મારા તાપને પાપ સમાવી લેજો તારા બાળકને દાસ બનાવી દેજો દેજો આવીને દર્શન દાન પ્રભુજી એવું માગું રે ભક્તિ કરતા છૂટે મારા પ્રાણ પ્રભુજી એવું માગું. પેજ નંબર 31. हारे वाला हरजी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी लई जाजे तारा धाम मां हारे वाला हरजी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी लई जाजे तारा धाम मां हारे मारा अंत समयना बेली हारे हवे मेलो नहीं अड़सेली हारे हूँ तो आवी हूँ गौतम द्वारे श्रीनाथ जी लई जाजे तारा धाम मां हारे नाथ करुणा तणा छो सिंधु हारे हूँ तो याचू छू एक ज बिंदु हारे एक बिंदु मानई थाय ओछू श्रीनाथजी लई जाजे धाम मां हारे मारू अंतर ले जो वाची हारे नथी मेरी मां लाली लखाती હારે પાને પાને એ પ્રસરી જાતિ શ્રીનાથજી લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે તને સમજ્યું ને શું સમજાવું, હારે કે તો અંતર ખોલીને બતાવું. હારે તારા ભક્તોની એક જ આશા શ્રીનાથજી લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે વાલા અરજી અમારી સુણો શ્રીનાથજી લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. પેજ નંબર 33. ભૂલો ભલે બીજું બધું મા બાપને ભૂલશો નહીં, અગણિત છે ઉપકાર એના એને વિસરશો નહીં. અસહ્ય વેતી વેદના ત્યારે દીતું તમ મુખડું, એ પુનિત જનના કાળજા પથ્થર બની છૂંદજો નહીં. કાળી મુકેતી કોળીઓ મોમાં દહીં મોટા કર્યા, અમૃત તણા દેનાર સામે ઝેર ઉગાડશો નહીં. ખૂબા લડાવ્યાલા ન તમને કોળ સૌ પૂરા કર્યા, એ કોળના પૂરનાર ના કોળ પૂરવા બનશો નહીં. લાખો કમાતા હો ભલે મા બાપ જેતી ના તર્યા, એ લાખ નહીં પણ રાખજે માનવું ભૂલશો નહીં. સંતાનથી સાય વાચા સંતાન છો સેવા કરો, જેવું કરો તેવું બરો એ ભાવના હી બીને સુઈ પોતે એને શું કે સુવાડ્યા આપરે, એની અમીમય આંખને ભૂલીને બી જવશો નહીં. પુષ્પો બિસાવ્યા પ્રેમથી જેણે તમારા રાહ પર, એ રાહબરના રાહબર કંટક કદી બનશો નહીં. ધન ખર્ચતા મળશે બધું પણ માત પિતા મળશે નહીં. એના પુનિત ચરણો તળીએ ચાહના ભૂલશો નહીં. ભૂલો ભલે બીજું બધું મા બાપને ભૂલશો નહીં. અગણિત છે ઉપકાર એના એને વિસરશો નહીં. પેજ નંબર 35. હે નાથ હાથ જોડી પામ માગીએ શરણું મળે સાચું તમારું. હે હૃદયથી માગીએ જે જીવ આવ્યો આપ પાસે, ચરણમાં અપનાવજો પરમાત્માએ. આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો, વળી કર્મના યોગે કરી જે કુળમાં, એ અવતરે ત્યાં પુણ્ય પ્રેમે. ઓ પ્રભુજી આપની ભક્તિ કરે, 184 બંધનોને લક્ષમાં લઈ કાપજો પરમાત્માએ. આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો, સુખ સંપત્તિ સુવિચારને સત્કર્મનો નિવારશો. જન્મો જન્મ તમ ભક્તિ કીર્તાર પાર ઉતારજો. આલોકને પરલોકમાં તમ પ્રેમ રંગ વ્યાપજો. પરમાત્માએ આત્માને પજો મળે મોક્ષ કે સુખ સ્વર્ગના આશા ઉરે એવી નથી. દો દેહ દુર્લભ માન માનવીનો ભજન કરવા ભાવથી સાચું બતાવી રૂપ શ્રી રણછોડ હૃદયે સ્થાપજો પરમાત્માએ આત્માને આપજો પરમાત્માએ આત્માને સાચી આપજો. પેજ નંબર 41. પ્રભુ દ્વાર તમારા ખોલો રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. પ્રભુ દ્વાર તમારા ખોલો રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. આ દુનિયાની સગાઈ રહી પ્યારમાં પથરાઈ, એમાં આત્મા ગયો લપટાઈ રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. આ ચારે કોરની માયા, તેમાં સગળા ભેદ સમાયા. આ માનવના રોવાયા રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. આ કાયા કુંભ છે કાચો, સમજો તો હે મન રાચો. પ્રભુ તું છે એક જ સાચો રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. એણે સત્કર્મ બહુ કીધા, એણે દુઃખ સહન કરી લીધા. તારા નામ અમૃત પીધા રે, આવ્યો આત્મા. લીધી તારા નામની માળા, હવે ભજલે છેલા ચોગાળા. ઓ ગિરધારી ગોપાલા રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. તારા હાથે છે મુજ નૈયા, તને પોકારું તરવૈયા. તમે આવો ને રકવૈયા રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. હરે હરે આવો નાથ, મારો પકડી લો ને હાથ. હું છોડું નહીં સંગાથ રે, વિચળ ભાનું ચંદા, એ તારી લીલા ગોવિંદા. ઓ જશોદાજીના નંદા રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. પ્રભુ એ છે મારી, એ આત્માને લેજો તારી. પ્રભુ સુણજો કૃષ્ણ મોરારી રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. પ્રભુ દ્વાર તમારા ખોલો રે, આવ્યો એક પુણ્યાત્મા. પેજ નંબર 43. મંગલ મંદિર ખોલો દયામય, મંગલ મંદિર ખોલો. જીવન વનયતી વેગે વટાવ્યું, દ્વારયુબો શિશુ દોડો દયામય, મંગલ મંદિર ખોલો. તિમિર ગયું ને જ્યોતિ પ્રકાશ્યો, શિશુને ઉરમાનો લો દયામય, મંગલ ખોલો. નામ મધુરતમ રત્યો નિરંતર, શિશુ સપ્રેમે બોલો દયામય, મંગલ મંદિર ખોલો. દિવ્ય તું સાધુર આવ્યો બાળક, પ્રેમય મીર पेज नंबर 25. अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में, सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में है, जीत तुम्हारे हाथों में और हार तुम्हारे में, और हार तुम्हारे हाथों में। मेरा निश्चय बस अब एक यही, एक बार तुम्हें पा जाऊं मैं, एक बार तुम्हें पा जाऊं मैं। अर्पण कर दूं दुनिया भर का सब प्यार तुम्हारे हाथों में, सब प्यार तुम्हारे मैं। जो जग में रहूं तो ऐसे रहूं, जो जल में कमल का फूल रहे, जो जल में कमल का फूल रहे। मेरे सब गुण दोष समर्पित हो, करता तुम्हारे हाथों में, भगवान तुम्हारे हाथों में। यदि मानव का मुझे जन्म मिले तो तुम चरणों का पुजारी बनो, तो तुम चरणों का पुजारी बनो। इस पूजन की एक एक रग का होता तुम्हारे हाथों में, होता तुम्हारे मैं। जब जब संसार का कैदी बनूं, निष्काम भाव से कर्म करूं, निष्काम भाव कर्म करूं। फिर अंत समय में प्राण तजूं, निराकार तुम्हारे हाथों में, साकार तुम्हारे हाथों में। मुझ में तुझ में बस भेद यही, मैं न रहूं तुम नारायण हो, मैं न रहूं तुम नारायण हो। मैं हूँ संसार के हाथों में, संसार तुम्हारे हाथों में, संसार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में, सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा, गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। तमेव माता च पिता तमेव, तमेव बन्धो च सखा तमेव, तमेव विद्या द्रविणं तमेव, तमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। असत्यो माहेति प्रभु परम सत्य तुलई जा, ऊंडाई अंधारे थी प्रभु परमते जे तुलई जा। महामृत्यु माती अमृत समीपे नाथ लई जा। तू हीणो हूँ छू तो तुझ दर्शना, याथ तुझे काया थी घड़ी क घड़ी वाणी ती उचरून, कृति इंद्रियोनी मुझवन विषय भाव जे स्मरून। स्वभावे बुद्धि थी शुभय शुभ जे कायिक करूं, क्षमा दृष्टे जो जो तुझ चरण मानात जी धरूं। ओम तत्सत् श्री नारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तु सिद्ध बुद्ध तु स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तु ब्रह्म मध्य तु यह शक्ति तु ईशो पिता प्रभु तु रुद्र विष्णु तु राम कृष्ण तु रहीमताओ तु वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तु चिदानंदारि तु अद्वितीय तु अकाल निरभय आत्मलिंग शिव तु ओम तत्सत् श्री नारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तु सर्वदा सौ सुखितावो समता सौ समाचरो सर्वष्ट दिव्यता व्यापो सर्वष्ट शांति विस्तरो ओम शांति शांति शांति। दरेक भाई बहनों ઊભા થઈ આપણે 1 મિનિટ મૌન પાડીશું. પ્લીઝ સ્ટેન્ડ અપ. બસ પતી ગયો હવે. ओम शांति शांति शांति।
I'm just going to request a 1 minute of quick pause so immediate family member can just wash their hands and get prepared for the last ceremony. It won't take but just 2 minutes. Meanwhile, if you guys want to start a tune. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai. Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram 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 Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram. મહારાજને વિનંતી.
બધાને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. આજના દિવસે આપણે પૂજ્ય સદગત પાર્વતીબેનને અંતિમ વિદાય આપવા જઈ રહ્યા છીએ ત્યારે આ મનુષ્ય દેહ જે જીવ કલ્યાણને અર્થે એ આપણને પ્રાપ્ત થાય છે ત્યારે આપણે 4 વિભાગોમાંથી પસાર થવાનું હોય: ધર્મ, અર્થ, કામ અને મોક્ષ. એવા પુણ્યશાળી જીવાત્માઓમાં હોય કે જેમને પિતૃપક્ષની અંદર વિદાય મળે. ગરુડ પુરાણમાં 15મો અધ્યાયના તમે 3 શ્લોક વાંચો તો આ જીવની શું સ્થિતિ, એનો લય અને એનો મોક્ષ, એના વિશે આપણે બહુ જ ઊંડાણથી ચર્ચા કરી શકીએ. સદગત બેન એણે એના જીવનમાં ખૂબ એવા પુણ્યના કાર્ય કર્યા છે કે જેના કારણે એ જીવ આજે શિવમય થવા જઈ રહ્યો છે. ટૂંકમાં કહીએ તો દીકરાઓએ બહુ સુંદર વાતો કરી. એનું ફેમિલી સાથેનું એટેચમેન્ટ, કમ્યુનિકેશન અને બહુ જ બહોળો સંપર્ક સમાજ સાથે, ધર્મની સેવા અને સમાજની સેવા, એની સાથે જ્યારે જીવ પ્રયાણ કરતો હોય ત્યારે એનું સ્વરૂપ સચિત આનંદ તરફ જાય. અને એટલા માટે કહ્યું, ન મે દ્વેષ રાગો ન મે લોભ મોહો મદો નેવ મે નેવ માત્સર્ય ભાવમ ન ધર્મો ન ચાર્ધો ન કામો ન મોક્ષમ ચિદાનંદ રૂપમ શિવોહમ શિવોહમ चिदानन्दरूपं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं એવા જીવ જ્યારે કલ્યાણના અર્થે શિવ માર્ગે જઈ રહ્યો છે ત્યારે અમારા હિન્દુ સેન્ટર તરફથી તમામ પ્રિસ્કણો તરફથી મેનેજમેન્ટ તરફથી આજના દિવસે પરિવારજનોને ખૂબ શ્રદ્ધાસુમન અર્પણ કરીએ છીએ. એનું દુઃખ સહન કરવાની પરમ કૃપાળુ પરમાત્મા આપને ખૂબ શક્તિ આપે, બલ આપે એવી આજના દિવસે પ્રાર્થના કરીએ છીએ. અને લેટ મી રિક્વેસ્ટ ટુ મિસ્ટર જતીનભાઈ પટેલ ઇન બિહાફ ઓફ અવર હિન્દુ સેન્ટર, ધ વાઇસ પ્રેસિડેન્ટ, please come forward and offer the Pushpanjali to Parvatiben. Mr. Jatinbhai Patel from Hindu Center, Vice President.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिपुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. At this point, I'll ask the immediate family members, Natubhai to stand on this side, all the kids and uncle to stand on this side, Dina and Preeti and Safina, you stand on this side with a couple of stands. Once they get to stand around, we'll.
Not ladies now. Ladies later on.
Yeah, okay. We want a man on it? Okay.
તમે લોકો બેસી જાઓ.
Yeah.
તમે લોકો
Okay.
બેસી જાઓ. બેન આ બાજુ ઊભી છે.
Okay,
તમે આ બાજુ.
sorry. Can you move the flower petal there?
પેલું ડિનરને માટેનું લંચને માટેનું જાય એનાઉન્સ કરી દેવું.
ચોક્કસ.
અહીંયા મોટલ ટુ અહીંયા
Yeah.
after this.
While we're waiting on this, let me just go ahead and pass it on the quick information on behalf of the family. After we finish the cremation ceremony, there is a lunch arrangement is done for everybody on a motel too. And if you don't have information, I'll pass it on the paperwork so everybody have the information. There is an arrangement for the lunch made for everybody. At this point, I'll ask everybody start from the back side of the room to start offering the flower.
शरणं मम कदम्ब केरी डालो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम.
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम कदम्ब केरी डालो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम.
यमुना केरी पाळो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम. बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
यमुना तेरी पाड़ो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। ब्रज 84 कोस बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
कुंड कुंडनी सीढ़ियों बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। कमल कमल पर मधुकर बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
कुंड कुंडनी सीढ़ियों बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। कमल कमल पर मधुकर बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
डाल डाल पर पक्षी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। वृंदावन ना वृक्षो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
डाल डाल पर पक्षी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। वृंदावन ना वृक्षो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
गोकुलियानी गायो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। कुंज कुंज वन उपवन बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
गोकुलियानी गायो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। कुंज कुंज वन उपवन बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
ब्रज भूमि ना रज कण बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। रास रमंती गोपी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
ब्रज भूमि नारद कण बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। रास रमंती गोपी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
धेनु चराता गोपो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। वाजाने तबला माँ बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
धेनु चराता गोपो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। वाजाने तबला माँ बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
शरणाईने तंबुर माँ बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। नृत्य करंती नारी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
शरणाईने तंबुर माँ बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। नृत्य करंती नारी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
केसर केरी क्यारी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। आकाशे पाताले बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
केसर केरी क्यारी बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। आकाशे पाताले बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
14 लोक ब्रह्मांडे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। चंद सरोवर चौके बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
14 लोक ब्रह्मांडे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। चंद सरोवर चौके बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
पत्र पत्र शाखाए बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। आम्बुलिंबु ने जाम्बू बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
पत्र पत्र शाखाए बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। आम्बुलिंबु ने जाम्बू बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
वनस्पति हरियाली बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। जति पुराना लोको बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
वनस्पति हरियाली बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। जति पुराना लोको बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
मथुरा जीना चोबा बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। गोवर्धन शिखरे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
मथुरा जीना चोबा बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। गोवर्धन शिखरे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम।
गली गली गहवर वन बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम। वेणु स्वर संगीते बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
श्री जमुना जी नी लहरों बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम आंबा डाले कोयल बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
तुलसी जी ना क्यारा बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम सर्व जगत मां व्यापक बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
तुलसी जी ना प्यारा बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम सर्व जगत मां व्यापक बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
विरही जन ना हैया बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम कृष्ण वियोगे आतुर बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
विरही जनना हैया बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम कृष्ण वियोगे आतुर बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
वल्लभी वैष्णव सर्वे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम मधुर वीणा वाजिंत्रो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
वल्लभी वैष्णव सर्वे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम मधुर वीणा वाजिंत्रो बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
कुमुदिनी सरोवरमा बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम चंद्र सूर्याकाशे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
कुमुदिनी सरोवरमा बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम चंद्र सूर्य आकाशे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
तारलियाना मंडल बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम अष्टप्रहर आनंदे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
तारलियाना मंडल बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम अष्टप्रहर आनंदे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
रोम रोम व्याकुल थई बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम महामंत्र मन माहे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
रोम रोम व्याकुल थई बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम महामंत्र मन माहे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
जुगल चरण अनुरागे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
जुगल चरण अनुरागे बोले श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम
हे नाथ जोड़ी हाथ पाए प्रेम थी सौ मांगिए शरणों मळे साचूं तमारू हृदयथी मांगिए जे जीव આવ્યો आप पासे चरण मां अपनावजो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आपजो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आपजो वळी कर्म ना योगे फरी जे कूळ माए अवतरे त्या पूर्ण प्रेमे ओ प्रभुजी आपनी भक्ति करे त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धना मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वः भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वाहा भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वाहा भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वाहा भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ हौं जूं सः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वाहा भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ स्वाहा भुवः भुः ॐ सः जूं हौं
ગાયત્રાસ્તુ પરમ નાસ્તિ. ગાયત્રીથી મોટો કોઈ મંત્ર નથી. ઋષિઓએ માટે જ ગાયત્રીને મહામંત્ર
शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम कदम्ब केरी डालो बोले श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम कदम्ब केरी डालो बोले श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम
जमुना केरी पार